Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Deconversion Stories. And today I'm talking with the lovely Miss Kay Nevs, a story about our tardiness. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Deconversion Stories. And today I'm talking with the lovely Miss Kay Nevs, a story about our tardiness.
Hold on.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of
You gotta mute.
Kay Nevs, a story about our tardiness.
Okay, you've got to. It's coming through. I can hear myself delayed. So maybe you've got the YouTube channel open. Now you're muted. Give us a sec here, folks.
Okay, how is that? So sorry.
Yeah, okay. Was the YouTube channel open or something?
It was.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's probably why. Yeah.
So sorry.
All right. So, anyways, everyone, welcome Kay to the show tonight. Kay, what I do here is I talk to people about how they found their way out of a belief system that they were once a part of. And, so we kind of go through the ups and downs, et cetera, and sort of take us on that journey. And I might interject with something silly to say every now and again. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. It's all Oz's fault, by the way.
It is.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, you got to get Kay on." I'm like, "Sure," because I'd seen you on the show, but I hadn't actually met you. So,
yes, thank you.
All right. So, yeah, why don't you sort of take us back when you were once a believer and how you found your way out?
Okay, so my upbringing in religion is a little bit interesting. So when I was 5, my mom and dad got a divorce, and they were both Christian. Then my mom met my stepdad, who is from Jordan, and he was Muslim. So in Islam, when you have to convert to Islam in order to get married, at least for the most part. I know not all Muslims practice that, but that is how it typically goes. So my mom did convert to Islam. Oh. And she lived in Texas, and my dad met my stepmom, who is also Christian. So they stayed Christian, and they lived in California. So during the school year, from 5 on, I was being raised Muslim. While during the summers and like winter break and spring break and stuff, I would go visit my dad and stepmom, and they were Christian. Right. So that was up until 14. At 14 years old, I moved out of my mom and stepdad's house in with my dad and stepmom. And he had like a whole like graph for this, but they were Methodist, pretty chill. I call it like chill Christian, because when I was 16, I ended up going and being a part of like a very evangelical fundamentalist Christian church, because a guy invited me to his youth group, and then I just got sucked in. I got sucked in real fast. This
crazy.
Oh yeah, it was speaking in tongues. It was super toxic purity culture. It was very controlling.
Did you ever, when they were speaking in tongues, did you ever go, whoa, hold on, I missed that. Can you do that again?
It was, I can remember the first time I saw it. I was like,
what the?
And so I looked over at my friend, and I was like looking at them like, I had never seen it before. I didn't know it was a thing. And she was like, "That's the Holy Spirit." She was like, "That's the Holy Spirit, like taking over and speaking out of her." And then me being like, young and dumb, I was like, "Ooh, wow." I thought it was so magical and mystical. Like I had really found the true church, because these fucking crazy people are speaking in gibberish. So, and then of course, as time went on, I was like, well, why aren't I, like, I'm Christian, like I'm a part of this church. I believe in everything they're telling me. Like, why am I not speaking in tongues? So I just started doing it to feel like not left out, and then as time progressed, I actually believe, I was like, oh, I'm speaking in tongues now, when in reality, it started off as like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, I guess I got to do that, you know? So it was it was a shock. And eventually I had a falling out with one of the church leaders, and I left that church about a year after I joined it. And I just had all these questions because it was so, the way the church leader treated me, what happened is she took my confession of like a sin that I did, which was kissing, by the way. I felt, I know, I felt so guilty about kissing, that I was sobbing and felt like broken and worthless and like,
that's what they do to you.
Talking about it now, I just feel so. I was so angry, and I'm still a little bit angry, obviously, but I've mostly healed about that. But she took my confession, and she ended up telling all the other church leaders about what I had done. And then the youth pastor's wife ended up coming up to me.
Confession's supposed to be
confidential.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow.
So that's the interesting part is like, I don't know if you've heard of the bite model, but one of the
Yes, I have.
Yeah, one of the key things is like misusing or mistreating a confession, which is what I consider that to be, because I was trying to be in the youth band and be a worship leader and singer for this youth band. And the youth pastor's wife came up to me and she was like, so the youth leaders and I decided that you really need to work on your relationship with God more before we allow you to be in our band. So I was really pissed, obviously, because I felt betrayed, because that's the only thing that had happened. The previous week, I told them that I was kissing somebody, and they believed in waiting till marriage for your first kiss.
For kissing?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of them actually did.
I know. It's crazy to think about. And like the youth leaders, like if you were interested in somebody in the group, then they encourage you to like tell them about it so that they can kind of like mediate that relationship, and also like go on group dates with you guys and like pray with you and guide you through like courtship, basically. Yeah, they were pretty intense, and they had lots of different functions and events that you were expected to go to. If you didn't go, it wasn't like you were punished, but it was also like, oh, we didn't see you at Saturday's fasting for Jesus and starving yourself as a brainwashing technique, which we're not going to actually tell you. Why weren't you there? Oh, you had soccer practice? Is soccer really more important than Jesus? Like,
yep.
Yeah.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. So, after that incident happened and I felt so betrayed, I stormed out, and the youth pastor's wife, again, I didn't even know the woman. It was a pretty big church. Like I had barely spoken to her. I knew her name, but I had never talked to her before. And she's messaging me on Facebook like, this is the devil right now. The devil is wanting you to walk out. The devil is doing this. The devil is in your life. And I'm like, no, bitch, it was you. You made a judgment on me. I was like, yeah, you're the devil, actually. But I was like, I confess my sins, ask for forgiveness. Isn't that how this works? Like I'm supposed to be forgiven, and you're holding me kissing somebody over my head? Like,
oh yeah.
So I was still Christian. Like obviously at that point, I didn't stop believing in God just because the youth leader was mean to me. But that definitely started my deconversion journey. I felt like so passionately in my soul that this was like the church, and the church's teachings were like the infallible, like this is the truth, and after that happened, such a big betrayal, I was like, well, if they were going to stab me in the back and treat me like shit, then what else? I started like every time I drove by the church, I would like flip it off because I saw it every day on my way to school because I was so mad. I was like, fuck you guys.
But did you do it this way?
Right? I should have. That would have been really funny. Holy fucking off. But anyway, I just was interested in finding the truth. And, you know, I was like, well, I need to find another church now. So I started going on church websites and looking up different churches in my area and what they believed. And I remember going through, you know, most churches have like an about us and what we believe and what we believe the Bible is. Because some churches will say, we believe the Bible is, you know, the infallible word of God and 100% truth. And we teach it like that. Some churches will say, we believe the Bible is the inspired word of God and the allegories teach you stories. It's more of like a progressive type church. And I started just being interested in why there were so many different interpretations, why there were so many different churches. And I started really thinking about it, I guess. I don't remember the exact catapult moment that I was like, what is my first question that I have? But eventually I just had so many more questions than I had answers. And I started watching a lot of YouTube videos. So one channel, which is Dark Matter 2525.
Yep.
That was the first channel. Like I watched one of his videos and I was like, you know, and I didn't like it. It was an uncomfortable feeling at first of being like, oh, this is an icky feeling because no one likes being wrong, right? Like no one likes being lied to and no one likes finding out that what they feel is so true and finding out that it's not true.
Well, you know what they say, the best thing about being proven wrong?
What?
You're no longer wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And I just, from watching his videos, and then of course how the YouTube algorithm worked is like you watch one, then it just recommends more to you. And so I just went down the atheist rabbit hole. And I remember like calling pastors in like other areas of the country, just like anonymously, because I wanted to do it anonymously, I guess. I don't really know. I'm a weird person. But I remember calling like some pastors out in California and being like, hey, I have some questions for you. Like, mind if I ask you? And they were like, sure. So I had all these questions about like an omnipotent God, an all benevolent God, an all powerful God, and the questions about the Trinity and how that worked. And then learning about the different councils that happened and learning about how the Bible was canonized and learning about how the Bible has lots of other mythology stories in it and how it mimics a lot of mythology that predates the Bible, the Torah, and just being like absolutely mind blown. And then I was like, well, maybe, you know, everyone's trying to get at the same story. Like we're all one. Maybe there is a creator and we're just all telling different versions of like, no. Yeah, I know.
No.
I don't know if it's a pattern that I kind of noticed, but I feel like a lot of people that like have like deconversions from strong Christianity end up kind of going a spiritual route. Like it's almost like a little stepping stone into atheism and being like, well, I can't completely let go of this false belief. So let me like make up some woo-woo bullshit in my own mind.
Men become pagans of a sort too, right? So
yeah, I even dabbled with that a little bit.
Me too.
But well, it's you almost like it's a comfort thing. It's like
even like this shit. These are
love that.
Yeah.
What is that, by the way? Is that like a Taoism, like Eastern philosophy type thing?
Yeah, it is. And they have like they're like Chinese tarot cards. They have little symbols for like
I love that.
Gentle and Wei Chi, Tui, Chung Fu, Q, all kinds of these things that mean different things. And you pull like 3 of them out, and it has a little book here that tells you what it's all about.
Oh, they're kind of like oracle cards.
Kind of, yeah.
In
I
a
have
way.
oracle cards around here somewhere too.
Yeah, I have some oracle cards I got as a gift.
And tarot.
I can't let go of them. I'm like, it's kind of cool. It's fun. And that's the thing, is that it is interesting to think about how, I guess it was like a comfort thing, you know, like your favorite comfort blanket from childhood that you just don't want to quite let go of, but it's falling apart and it's tattered. And you're like, no, I'm just going to hold on to this like one little like shredded piece of blanket because I don't want, it's comfortable for me. You know, that's kind of how I like equate my spiritual journey. And then eventually I was like, it just doesn't make sense. You know, I can't say that I actually believe this. It would be cool if when I die, my soul, you know, existed, 1, and 2, was able to like explore the cosmos and learn all the secrets of the universe. I mean, that would be fucking rad. But I can't say that it's true, and I can't say that I actually believe that.
Right.
You know, the end, I guess. Not the end, but that's pretty much my deconversion story, and like how it was just a process.
Yeah. Sometimes it can take a little bit, and sometimes it's almost like somebody's flipped a light switch.
Mm-hmm.
You just have that epiphanic moment, you know.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, you know what? This is garbage. And then, you know, that's it. But what I want to know is like, how did it affect any of your relationships, like with your family and stuff like that?
So at this point, I wasn't really talking to my bio mom or stepdad, so I didn't really give a fuck what they thought. And then with my dad and stepmom, thankfully, they were pretty chill about it. I remember when I first, I feel like a lot of ex-fundamental or ex-evangelical Christians have this like angry phase of like,
yeah, some do.
I definitely did. So I was posting like Facebook statuses, and one is lyrics from Bring Me the Horizon, and it's like, when you die, the only kingdom you'll see is 2 foot wide and 6 foot deep. And so I would like post stuff like that on my Facebook, and my mom would be like, honey, that is just ridiculous. You need to take that down. And I was like, no. I was like, sorry if the truth makes you uncomfortable, Mom. And she was like, okay. But she didn't like disown me, or, you know, she still loves me. And my dad, it's interesting. He used to be very, very Christian, Republican, conservative. Anyway,
whole gamut, pretty much,
the whole thing. And now he's like a yoga teacher, and he's very like spiritual. So he's let go of kind
whatever
of
that means.
Yeah. He's let go of like the dogma of Christianity, and he's become, you know, more progressive, and, you know, unlearned some of his like old ways, and like how the church and Christianity kind of does reinforce this like white male power narrative. And so he's kind of unlearned that, which is great, but he still believes that Jesus was a good teacher, I guess, and that all the teachers of the universe have like, or of this world, have kind of been trying to get at the same thing, which was the stage I was at right after I left Christianity. I'm like, Dad, you're almost there. Come on, keep on pushing. Like,
yeah.
You know,
just let it go, let it go.
Let it go. But he's not there yet, but he's very, very supportive. I'm very thankful and, you know, appreciative that my parents are so supportive, because I know that's not the case for a lot of people. And even when I was at like the super evangelical church, my parents were still going to like the chill Methodist church. And I would come home and be like, guys, you have to come to my church. Like, you guys are lukewarm Christians. Like, I'm scared for your salvation. And they started getting like freaked out and trying to like limit my time at this other church. You know, they were Christians freaked out by the church I was going to, if that says anything. So
Well, because it's the wrong church.
they have the wrong interpretation
Yeah,
of the
must be.
Bible.
All 33,000 different.
One of them's right. 32,000 of them. Right, bud.
Well, I don't know about that. I think the chances are they're all fucking wrong. But yeah.
Every church believes they have the right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They believe, humans have believed that since day one. Right down from having some form of a deity right to now. They've had, oh no, this is the right way. And that's all there is to it. And you're not going to convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
But some get convinced over time.
Well, it's interesting to think about too, how like when humanity first started and became intelligent in a way, and the first religions were formed, they were all polytheists.
Yeah.
And
most of them.
Yeah, most of them. And it's interesting to think about how like in all of the history of humanity,
She froze.
Oh, am I back?
You're back.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. It happens.
But it's interesting to think about how like the Abrahamic God didn't really pop up in humanity for humanity to worship until thousands and thousands of years later, after they had been worshiping all these other deities,
Literally hundreds of thousands of them. Yes.
Right. It just didn't. That also didn't make sense to me because I was like, well, if God's real, if the Christian God is real, then why the fuck did he wait so long but like at the very tail end of humanity, be like, actually, I'm the one, worship me, That makes no sense.
And what was he doing about all the people worshiping these other deities before Earth was even created?
That's what I wanted to know. That's one of the questions that was not able to be answered in like a satisfying way. I was like, I'm sorry, but if I'm the creator of the universe and the creator of humans, then I'm going to make it known from day fucking one.
Mm-hmm.
And every day after that to be like, hey, just letting you guys know, here's my rules. Like, don't kill each other. Love y'all.
Unless I tell you to.
Right.
Kill each other. Right?
Well, if I was the creator of the universe, I would not have anyone kill anybody else. And I would not test someone to castrate or not castrate, but kill their son just to see if they love me. That's some petty, weird bullshit.
Yep. Yeah. Very human is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Funny how that is, eh? It's so how did you get involved with the Tart guys?
So that is all through TikTok. Yep. So I downloaded TikTok and during quarantine. I love TikTok. I freaking love it. And at first I was like, I had people convince me to download TikTok. One of my best friends, she was like, oh my gosh, you should download it. It's fun. Like, we're in quarantine right now. It's actually really cool. And I was like, no, isn't that like for kids? I was like, And then she showed me her profile, or her For You page. I was like, okay, I guess I'll get it. And I don't know how the algorithm found out that I was a heathen, but it did. And so more and more I started seeing different people, atheists, pop up on my For You page, namely J Mike and Just Jeff were the first ones. Yeah. And so I remember popping into like Jeff's lives, and it just kind of reignited this old ember that I had put off for so long, because even though I have been atheist for about like 7-8 years now, I used to really, really care about it. And then I just kind of stopped thinking about it. I had a kid, like other things in my life took over, and I was never really outspoken about the harm religion had done to me. And I don't know, I just popped up in Jeff's lives and on his profile, and then him and I became friends. And the more I started gaining confidence and sharing my story on my own TikTok, I think that resonated with the Tart guys, and they invited me to be on. And I did a show, and we clicked. All of us clicked really well, and it just seemed like it was just like the right thing to do, you know?
It was in the clouds or whatever they say.
Yeah, it was the fate.
In the cards.
Destiny. It was in the cards. Yep. My tarot cards that I pulled the night before. Yeah, they told me that's what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, those guys are great. I've had almost all of them on the show, my show, except for Pasta Mike.
Oh, he's got to get on.
Well, I bugged him. He kept saying no. And then he popped up into the chat today in here and said, so when are you going to have me on your show? And I'm like,
come on, Pasta Mike.
In that Pasta Mike way. Oh, he's back. He's there. He's lurking.
Fair enough. It's like my little catchphrase. It's not even my catchphrase, but I can't stop saying fair enough. And so now it's like it's a joke. I can't stop saying fair enough.
So it's become a hashtag fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's like the
fair
old hashtag mute Oz.
I'm going to get it tattooed like right here.
Fair enough.
Just ENUF. Just one F.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Yeah, right.
It gets the class, you know.
You can do it the way you know that old Nuff said where they just NUFF.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Fair enough. I like that. I'm too much to get knuckle tats though.
Well,
I'm gonna do white ink.
Tattoos on the bone are pretty painful.
Yes. Well, I don't really have any on the bone. I have this this one right here. And that was really painful. Even though it's not technically on a bone, it was like pretty close to my wrist. And the guy was heavy-handed and it looks like shit. So that did hurt. Also, the crease of my elbow, that hurt really bad too.
Yeah. I've had shoulder tats, pretty arm tats, shoulder tats, and I can't get any more now though. I mean, I want to, but I can't.
Why not?
Well, because if I do, then that means I can't donate blood.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I would have to wait like a year before I could donate again. So.
Oh, okay. I'm not
willing to do that.
So it would be interesting if anybody knows anything about this, but I cannot donate blood because I was born in Germany and lived in Germany up until I was like almost 3 years old. And in the area that I lived in, mad cow disease was happening. Mm. And I ate beef as a child, and they're worried that I might have mad cow disease, like the kind that is present in humans. Mm-hmm. And it takes 50 years for this disease to show up. And it shows up, I know. So apparently I can't give blood because I might have mad cow disease.
Well, that sucks.
It does suck. But I feel like it's really rare, and I probably don't. But that's like the thing that keeps me up at night is like I might have mad cow disease, and I'll never know until it happens.
Well, you got to understand their perspective too, right? Because they are thinking about the patients, the recipients that are going to get it, and they have to be absolutely sure that you're not, well, for lack of a better word, contaminated by something.
Right.
So because that could kill someone if you give them the blood from somebody that has something wrong. So I get their point of view. They don't allow it here either. If I was like to go to England, I would have to stop. They wouldn't let me do it anymore.
It's messed up.
If I was in England between a certain time during that, then, which I wasn't, but so
right.
I guess I could probably go now and be fine, but they always want to know where you went and when you left the country because there's always something going on somewhere, right? So they want to be sure that you're not bringing home a nasty little bug. Yeah.
Bloods, prions or prions or whatever they're called.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I just saw a comment, if I can answer it. Theoretically asked, did I learn German until 3 years old? No, I did not. I was born on very true. I was born on a military base because my parents were both military. So, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And I'm sorry to tell you, but you now have Mad Neal disease.
Love it.
According to tons of mice, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm not mad. Well, I'm not mad yet. So we'll see what happens.
Everyone's mad here.
Yes, we're all mad here. Yes, yeah, I should put on my Mad Hatter hat that actually has Jack Skellington on it for some reason, but okay.
I have a question for you. What's, if that's okay? What's your? Were you raised in any sort of religion as well, or?
Yeah. I was actually I was adopted as a baby.
Okay.
And I was born to a Christian couple. But I was brought home and adopted by a Jewish couple. So I was actually raised Jewish.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Must have been all part of God's plan, get me out of the right religion into the wrong religion that doesn't like Jesus. So
right, or vice versa.
All part of the plan, I guess.
Depends on who you ask, right?
Right. Yeah, well, Jews don't believe in Jesus. So
they don't believe, so I actually don't know that much about Judaism. Do they not believe? Do they believe Jesus was like a prophet or anything, or just some crazy man with schizophrenia talking? Do they believe like a historical Jesus even, or what?
No, well, that I can't give you a certainty answer, but from what I know, they call him a false, not a false prophet, but a false Messiah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they're always blamed for killing him. When all they did was suggest to Pontius Pilate that he may not be who he says he was, and then Pontius took it upon himself to kill him. So,
right.
Yeah, but of course, everyone likes making the Jews the scapegoats. So that's what happened.
Lots of anti-Semitism.
Mm-hmm.
Semitism. How do it?
Semitism. Anti-Semitism.
Okay, I just had a brain fart. Sorry.
I have them all the time, so it's okay.
Good.
By the end of this, you'll look super smart. Don't worry.
Sweet. That's the goal.
Because I'm an idiot. So there you go.
Same here. So maybe not. Like, we'll see. So when you were born, were you adopted like as a baby?
As an infant, yeah. I was brought home. I was born on October 20th, 1966. Yes, there were cars at that point. I'm kidding. But I was brought home on Halloween Day.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was literally like 11 days old or 10 days old or something, because I was born fairly close to the 21st. So it was almost midnight or something by the time I
okay.
So,
the Scorpio?
No, like that matters. I was a Libra, actually. Well, I'm still a Libra, I guess.
You're a Libra. Okay.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I got into for a really long time. Not a really long time. And it's one of those things where it's, well, for me, I knew it was bullshit, but I didn't really care because I was like, this is fun. Well, after all the trauma I've had in my childhood, like I do now most of the time, but like as a young adult and teenager, I was like, I don't know who I am. So looking to find answers and literally anything that will tell me who I am and how I act and who I'm supposed to be. And Zodiac was one of those, even though I was like, this is bullshit, but I'm an Aquarius. So that means that I'm a humanitarian and I care about people, which is true, So just one of those things.
Did you ever see that, the thing that James Randi did with that class of students where he gave them all their astrological readings?
No.
He hands them all to the front rows and he says to pass them back to the people behind him. And then he says, read them all and tell me what you think. And then he goes, now, how many of you could identify with this reading that you got? And like 90% of the class put their hand up. And he goes, so how many of you kinda? And like a few more put their hands up. And then how many of you it didn't really? And like one or two people put their hand up. And he goes, okay, now what I want you to do is pass the one you got to the person behind you and check it out so you can see what each of you sort of got. And they all do that, and then they all start reading them. They all start laughing because they're all identical.
Oh, okay.
Which just shows how we just automatically the way our brains work is we find these vague sentences and attach them to something to us that makes sense, right? Because you can take some vague statement and figure out a way to make it work for some part of you or your life, right? So
it's very true. That confirmation bias.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how those things work. And then you got those guys, like I said that to a buddy one time who he has all these books and he looks at the years and the dates and the historical moments and he does all this shit and he does actual written out readings for people. He goes, well, what I do is very different. I go, no, dude, it's not. It's fucking not. So quit fooling yourself. You're just more winded with it. It's all it is. It's still very bullshit.
It's really like from what I've seen, where they're like, Mars is conjunct with Jupiter and Venus, which means that your love life is going to be in shambles this month. I'm like, that doesn't. No.
How could the planets influence us? That's what I want to know. They're too far away to have any influence over us.
Energy.
What kind of energy?
Just energy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm making it up. I feel like that's what people think. It's like the energy. Just the energy,
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah. Magic isn't real. And what kind? I always ask them, well, what kind of energy? It's like people that talk about spirits and ghosts and stuff too. I said, well, sure. What's containing the apparition? What is holding on to that energy that you're speaking of? What's keeping it in place to be an apparition?
Energy.
But what kind?
Energy. I don't know.
What kind?
I feel like that's pretty much what people say, right? It's just energy. It's just the vibe. It's just the vibe,
Vibe is in music?
No, it's just like the vibe.
But vibes are caused by things.
Energy.
What kind of energy?
Vibe.
Sonic energy, man.
Quantum 5D consciousness.
Oh, okay, Deepak.
I don't know. It's silly. Something else that I thought, like, I think that woo-woo, that's what I like to call it, like woo-woo stuff, spirituality, religions, they all kind of do prey on vulnerable people who don't, that might have, like, as I said, I had a lot of trauma happen to me and it made me not sure of who I am. And it made me not sure of what I wanted and who I wanted to be and how I wanted to act and how I do act. Like, all of that stuff just gave me a warped sense of self. So I think leaning into, at first, Christianity, to be like, oh, this is the thing that's going to be the thing that saves me. This is the thing that's going to offer me solace. And, Jesus loves me. So that's all that matters, right? And then it was spirituality. We are all one and the earth and everybody is the same. And, well, I do like the sentiment that all human beings are equal and we need to love each other and spread joy and love. Like, I love that. Like, great. But it's not some cosmic spiritual force. Correct. But it gave me that, like, solace that I needed because I got that from Christianity and I needed it to go somewhere else. And so when I realized that I was an atheist and I didn't believe in any of that, I kind of had an existential crisis. There is no solace in being an atheist. There is no. Like, but I don't mean it like being an atheist sucks. That's not true at all. But what I'm saying is, like, when you realize that all of this stuff is not true or doesn't appear to be true, it's like, oh, there is no afterlife, and I'm not going to see my parents after I die, that type of thing. And you find solace like here on earth in doing what you can to make a positive impact.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
Sure does.
But it did, I will be honest, it did, start kind of an existential crisis. Like, okay, who the fuck am I now? Like, what is my purpose? Who am I? What's my personality like? I don't understand anything, and that took a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well,
purpose isn't something that you're, born with or anything. Purpose is something you create. You make it yourself.
Yeah.
You find your purpose and your reason and meaning for being here.
Yeah. So
that's pretty much how that works. And try telling that to somebody that believes that it is God that gets you purpose. Really? Is that right? So my God-fearing cousin that was on meth, that was all part of his whole thing, and now he's dead because of it. Yeah, great. Yeah. Thanks. Good. No, hypothetically, I don't actually have a.
Oh, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Like saying something like that, like
yeah.
You can hear people saying something like that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because if that's their purpose was to do meth and die, I guess. God put him down as an example. What? Fuck you. Because I've heard of shit like this before.
So. Oh, of course. And that's why, like, whenever I was in one of a TikTok live with one of my really good friends, Baphometal, and
I like the name.
Yeah, he's really cool. And someone in the chat said, "Hey guys, like, I think I'm an atheist now. Like, after watching like all of the atheist community videos, and I'm just kind of like mind blown or whatever. Like, I don't think I believe anymore." And my first instinct wasn't to be like, yeah, fuck yeah, like we got him, got another. I was like, oh, you're about to go through like a whole process, baby. I was like, oh, you should DM me, like if you need any help, because it's hard mentally to.
It is, and that is why. In the description box below, I have multiple ways that you can, if you have been traumatized somehow by religion. There are a bunch of links in the description box, always, every episode, for people that are having problems with their deconversions. And there are lots of people out there that will listen and help.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know.
Love that.
Yeah. I've added a couple more for people that I've had on the show. They say, oh, you do that too? Oh, great. I'll throw your link in there too, in case, this way people can shop around, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I know my TikTok link is in there. So if anyone's watching, my DMs are open. And I think, I was asked, like, what do I want to accomplish by being an outspoken atheist? On TikTok and coming onto YouTube shows and being a part of TART. And really my biggest goal is to like be someone's, not really an inspiration, but just be there for someone who went through what I went through. After losing your faith and realizing it's bullshit. Having to grapple with that is difficult. And so I want people to know that they're not alone and that my DMs are open and that I can talk you through it or answer any questions that you might have if you're teetering on the edge of like, I want to believe, but I don't know if I do. Like, that's my biggest goal is like, I just want to be able to help people in any way that I can.
That's admirable because you've been there. So you know what it's like. So you're one of the people that, has the experience to share and can understand what people are talking to you, or coming to you for, the sort of trauma that they've gone through. J.R. Cleet says, my damage is deep.
Same.
Better put on my water wings.
I feel you.
Go into the deep end.
We'll wade in the waters together. DM me. It's fine. You need help. And I'm not like some therapist, and I'm not going to say, because really my advice anyway, I can just do it right now. Go to therapy. The end. Like, find a secular therapist. Go to therapy. There's my advice forever and always. Pretty much.
I do have secular therapy in the links too. Recovering from Religion, the Secular Therapy Project. Journey Free, which is a friend of mine's, and there's a bunch of them down there.
Okay,
So,
love that.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're all out to help people all that have had harm from religious belief.
One of my friends, I forget who it was, but they had Googled secular therapy or something to do with therapy and secularism or atheism. And the first thing that popped up was an ad for Christian counselors.
It's like every time I go to
Google.
every time I go to like atheist shows, like even mine is I'll pop in to see how it went and view it as a viewer. And the fucking like the Hebrew fucking university or whatever, religious university commercials about Jews in Israel that actually believe in Jesus, which there is a thing called Jews for Jesus, by the way. And they want to retranslate the New Testament for some fucking reason. Yeah, it's crazy. And then I get PragerU ads and all kinds of shit.
There was one when I first started like watching Tart videos before I was even on the show. Wait, was it Tart? It might have been another YouTube video, but it was an atheist YouTube video, and the first thing that pops up was a Catholic ad. I don't even know. It was like a 2 to 3 minute ad, and it was like Catholics. I forgot what it was, but it was about Catholics specifically. Something about maybe raising money or. God, now I wish I could find the ad again. It was very cringy, and I was like, "What the fuck is this doing?"
That one too, Dave. A lot that pops up a lot. Epoch Times. Tired of the fake news? Epoch Times, I hate to break it to you, but you're fucking fake news.
I've never heard of Epoch Times. Maybe I'm glad about that.
Yeah, probably. They're out there. They like to twist everything into some sort of almost, I don't want to say conspiracy, but it seems like a lot of the stuff they tackle, they turn it into some sort of conspiratorial mindset shit. So it's kind of weird. But anyway.
Yeah. Jews for Judaism.
Jews for Judaism.
Is the Jews for Jesus thing, like if you know, is that like a ethnic Jews that are Christian or Jewish people who are somehow simultaneously Jewish and Christian?
Yeah, pretty much.
Possible.
Yep, they believe Jesus was the Messiah, but they still stick to the Old Testament. They do read the New Testament, but they're traditionally like every other Jews out there. They celebrate the Passover and Hanukkah and all that stuff too.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
That's very interesting.
Huh. I remember in the 80s, you could see you saw the bumper stickers almost all over the fucking place at one time. Jews for Jesus. And I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah. At least around here. I don't know. Dave's from my neck of the woods. He might be able to back me up on that. I don't know if he saw them, but I definitely saw them quite often. It was bizarre to me at the time.
It's bizarre to me now. It's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah. Look it up, man. Google that shit. Jews for Jesus. They're out there.
I'm going to do that later, but I'm going to do it. That's very interesting.
Are you up for doing the after party or?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure because you got a little one.
Yeah. She should be in bed by now. Better be.
The hubby taking care of it?
Yes. Fiance. We're getting married.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's totally fine. It's exciting when people like accidentally call him my husband. I'm like, see? I'm gonna marry the man.
Awesome.
But yes, he's amazing like that. So, but yeah, my daughter is 3, turning 4 in March. And 3 is it's a rough age.
Yeah, I think they call it the terrible twos, but I think they should have waited a year.
For real, because they're getting smart. They're becoming more intellectual. They're starting to understand things more in tones and nuance. 3-nager, yes. But they're also starting to understand that, the parents' boundaries that they set don't have to be obeyed. Like, she's like, I don't have to. No. And I can't make her. And she's figuring that out.
Right.
That she doesn't have to listen to me. And like, even though she does, and I try to like set up, reward systems and discipline systems that don't have to do with physical violence. Because I don't believe in that as a parent, but
reward and punishment is good enough. And the punishment does not have to be pain or physical.
Right. So like, I'll take away her toys or, her tablet. But some
reward and consequence, I think.
Consequence. Yeah, that's a good one. Consequence. Even timeout. So she'll be like, okay, fine. I'll go to timeout. Okay, fine. Take away my toys. I don't care. I'm like, what do we do now? Like, she'll
start to care if it happens a lot.
Right. That's true. But
wait, where the hell are all my toys? Meanwhile, you got this big box. You'll get them back when you apologize.
Right. Or pick them up or something. Oh my gosh.
Well, good luck with that.
She is lovely. So headstrong.
Kids are like little fucking tornadoes. They run around and like there's shit flying everywhere as they're running around. It's just crazy.
Seriously.
I know because I was one myself.
Right. Till 13. I am so glad that is 10 years away. 13.
Yeah. Wait until 13. Yeah, when they hit the teens, everything changes. Suddenly they know everything.
I feel like she's already there.
I thought I did.
She asked me, so this is kind of how I work my philosophy or whatever into parenting. But she asked me the other week, like 2 weeks ago, she said, Mommy, can you get me a talking mouse? I guess it was in her movie or TV show she was watching. She said she really wanted a talking mouse. And I said, honey, talking mice do not exist. And she said, yes, they do. And I was like, no, they don't, honey. They don't. And she was like, yes, they do, Mommy. Yes, they do. And I was like, was it in your show? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, honey, that's fake. She's like, no, it's not. So I was like, okay, well, why don't we go to PetSmart and we'll go find some mice and you can see for yourself if the mice that we find talk or not. So we literally right that moment got dressed and went to PetSmart. We went over to the mice and I was like, okay, honey, see if they talk. And so she tried talking to them. They, of course, didn't talk back. And I was like, see, honey, talking mice are not real. They cannot talk to us. And she was like, oh. So I was like, find the evidence.
You were like, ha!
Get wrecked, kid.
See, I knew you'd be fun to have on.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, so that was interesting. And I don't want to tell her like, freaking noob, right? God.
Get
owned.
yeah, owned. Yeah, just like yelling that.
Right in PetSmart.
Oh, the parents like, that's not how you raise children. Fuck you, it's not.
But I don't want to be like a parent that like tells my child what to think. I want to teach her how to think.
Yeah.
She thought that mice could talk, and I was like, I told her that they didn't. She didn't believe me, so I told her, well, let's go find out. Search it for yourself. It's fine.
For good listeners.
It's funny. Your username is very funny in this situation. I love it.
That's mice is always funny.
Yeah. So, one thing I grapple with is Santa Claus because, my child's father and I are split. And he wants to do like the Christmas magic, and I don't want to.
When they're kids, it's okay.
I don't want to lie to her. In this,
it's not lying.
And
this is not a thing that's lying.
So this past Christmas, she came up to me and she was like, "Mommy, how is Santa going to bring me presents if we don't have a chimney?" And I was like, Well,
We have a door.
well, what I said was, I was like, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I didn't, make something up, but I wanted to allow her to have that question and stew with it and kind of think, or she's 3, so what else? She's going to be like, okay, next subject, like 2 seconds later. But it was interesting.
I think at that age, especially, it's okay if they believe in Santa and the Tooth Fairy and all that shit, because it did no damage to me, as I believe too. Even as a Jewish kid who didn't get Christmas, right? All we had was fucking what's his name there? What was his name that played Hanukkah Harry on Saturday Night Live? Anyway,
I don't know.
Oh man, his face is like right there, and I just can't remember his actual name.
Maybe someone in the comments will know.
Maybe.
Wait, I can Google it. Wait, what's the name again?
Hanukkah Harry.
Hanukkah. Fuck, I can't spell Hanukkah
Harry.
Harry.
And I think it was he was Saturday Night Live guy.
John Lovitz.
Larry David.
John Lovitz.
John Lovitz.
What was that? Oh my god, my channel's haunted.
I don't know who that is. John Lovitz.
John
Is
Lovitz,
that who you had? Hanukkah Harry?
Yeah, John Lovitz did them. Yeah, John Lovitz said, no, not Adam Sandler. It was John Lovitz. Yeah, and he did where he was stealing the presents from the Christian kids and giving them to the Jewish kids for Hanukkah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But mind you, Lovitz and the whole Hanukkah Harry thing wasn't a thing when I was really little. And because I go to my friend's house and do Christmas over there, right? So, and every year Santa bought something for me or made something for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every year there was a little something under the tree from Santa for me, right? Because
at your friend's house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. But eventually you realize that it's all nonsense, and I didn't go, oh well, fuck, I didn't get all pissy or nothing. I was just like, oh yeah.
Well, I'm trying to like figure out there's something that I read that was like how to tell your kids there's no Santa without ruining the magic of Christmas, or like whenever they find out, right? But I have a niece who is 10, 11. She's either 10 or 11, but she still believes in Santa Claus and Elf on the Shelf. Yes.
Elf on the Shelf.
And that the elf on the shelf actually watches her and flies to the North Pole every night and reports back to Santa. So I want to like do this thing where it's like, well, Santa is real, but not in the way you know him. Like Santa is based off of a story about a man who made toys for people in need, and he was trying to be anonymous about it or whatever. So what we do is we as the adults become Santa for the kids. So you can become Santa for someone else who might be in need of something, and then you can give them like an anonymous gift just out of the goodness of your heart. So I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, not bad. Doing something for out of the goodness of your heart is always a good thing. Hello, X from Utah Outcast is spying on us now.
Hello.
And now one of my co-hosts on Mikey will be too. Mikey, get your ass in here. We're gonna run this. We're gonna bring this to a close, anyways, because we're gonna get into the after party. But look at that, Kay. We made it through the hour.
We sure did.
Exactly.
Enough said. Am I right? Enough said.
Fair enough.
Damn it.
Come on, Mikey.
Hashtag fair enough. Roll it, Mikey. Roll it. Hashtag fair enough.
Fair enough.
Oh, you're doing that one now. Fair enough.
Fair enough. I'm a little lost, but fair enough. Hell yeah, man! I'm gonna speak my truth.
I'm gonna keep that button on standby throughout the entire after party. So just we'll devise some sort of signal. You can be like, fair enough, and I'll just have it ready. It's just.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but X is arguing with himself.
he does that. It's all right.
Yeah, from time to time.
All I can do is Outcast, Utah Outcast, Outcast X, and all I now my brain won't shut up, and I just hear, "My baby won't mess around because she loves me so." Anyone? Outcast? Anybody? No, it's me. Okay, that's all I hear right now in my brain.
Hey,
Oh, shit!
hey,
Oh,
meet your daddy.
A Polaroid picture.
man, we
Getting
played that
called
song
out
quite a
already.
bit. We played that song quite a bit when I was working at Sound the Record Man.
Yo, Andre 3K is one of my favorite humans. He's just the perfect dude. He's so he's so crazy and so talented. It's a perfect storm.
So I didn't know that Andre 3000 was in Outcast until very recently. We don't need to talk about it. I know. Okay. The only thing I knew Andre 3000 from was a remix with Kesha. Sleazy.
Yeah.
He did a remix with her. It was very good.
You didn't hear him on John Legend?
No.
Oh, I'll play that in the in-between times.
John Legend, I don't know much of his body of work. I know who he is. I know some of his like hit top songs, but I don't know much of his body of work.
We're gonna have to hang out more.
For sure.
This is unacceptable.
Let's do that though.
Mm-hmm.
I met oh fuck, what the hell was her name? They were local to where I live. Not
Avril Lavigne.
No, good lord, no. She's
Justin Bieber.
He doesn't live where I live either.
Drake.
Drake doesn't live here either.
He's from Canada.
Wayne Gretzky.
Canada's fucking huge.
So it's Canada, Canada's Canada, right?
It's like when I go places, oh, you're from Canada? Oh, do you know the Andersons? I'm like, well, that
yes,
down.
Yes, I do.
What part of Canada are you in?
I'm in Vancouver, the West Coast.
Lucky.
West Coast. I don't know.
I've always wanted to go to Vancouver. My dad's been. He said it's the best city in the world.
I thought that was the
That's nope. That is not the West Coast. That's not the West Coast, my friend. That's the best coast that you're repping right there.
We won't go there, or else I'll have to start streaming on Pornhub.
Not again.
I know, fuck. Just got out of there. Mad Child. That rings a bell. Yes, Mad Child. Yes, but
what was the name of
it? What was he part of?
Mad Child.
I want to say Black Eyed Peas, but that's not it.
That's will.i.am.
Mad Child. Yeah, and it was Mad Child and the other guy that I was taking a bank deposit at the auto parts place that I worked for. And I walked in and they walked in right behind me. I turned around and went, oh, geez, fuck, whoa, you guys, I know you guys from that Much Music channel where all the youngsters watch. And then it's like, I'm like, oh, hey, dude, what's going on? So we chatted for a bit.
You talking about CeeLo Green? Are you talking about like Gnarls Barkley? Who are you talking about?
No.
Who are you after there, Neil? I have a CeeLo Green update for all of you out there.
Okay.
But you have to.
Where's he been?
But I'll only reveal those sources in the after show.
Ooh.
Stay tuned, viewers.
Swollen Members. That was the name of the band.
Oh, God. Really? What a horrible name.
Yeah, Swollen Members. Vancouver-based hip-hop group. Swollen Members.
Swollen Members.
Yeah. And
yikes.
Mad Child released his own album in 2009.
Swollen Members?
Yep. Look them up. They actually had a couple of pretty decent
God,
songs.
That is the worst name.
That sounds... Okay, Jeff Berner.
Don't know who that is.
DOA.
DOA? Well, I know Joey Shithead.
I'm just looking up. I'm looking up people from Vancouver, music people from Vancouver.
He has already guessed the name of the band, like he found it. But if you,
I know, but
please do. Just
I had already. Oh, Swollen Members. There they are.
Swollen Members, yeah. Sarah McLachlan's from here.
Ooh. Skinny Puppy.
Skinny Puppy. I used to be right into them.
Chilliwack.
Chilliwack, yeah, they're from here. Well, they're from Chilliwack, actually.
The New Pornographers.
The New Pornographers.
Oh. I'm really on point with pronunciation.
Keep going.
Okay. Well, so it's interesting too. This has been like an ongoing theme in my life. It just really is. Because I was raised and grew up in like a whole bunch of different, like I simplified my story just because like where I lived at the time wasn't really important, but it was Germany, North Carolina, Texas, and like the part of Texas and how my family talked was like really Southern. And then California and Florida, like a little bit of Valley. And I guess I've always had trouble pronouncing things. I used to say toilet as toilet.
Not toilette.
No,
Ooh, please flush the toilet.
The toilette. Do not leave it.
Toilet.
Or the commode.
The Commodore 64.
Commoder.
The commode. But yeah, there's lots of words that like I'll pronounce.
I mispronounce shit all the time when I first see a word that I've never seen before.
It's just, the more you get to know me, the more you talk to me, you'll be like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, that is not how you say that word.
That
Pornographers.
Like, I'll get like the letters right. Like, I can read. It's just, it'll sound.
I'm a great reader. I'm a bad talker.
Yes.
Look at X. Poop jokes. Why aren't we in the after party already?
Fair enough.
It's
Fair
toilet humor.
Yes. Fair enough.
Well, we'll do that. We'll get into the after party. If anyone out there would like to join us, just let me know through Facebook or Twitter, or if you don't have either of those, like somebody else in the stream here, you can send me an email. My email is in the description box below. It is 604atheist@gmail.com.
Gotta get a TikTok, Neil.
Huh?
He has one.
I have a TikTok. I just haven't put anything on it yet.
Oh, come on.
I was all over it for like 3 days, and then I was like, meh. It's kind of checking.
Fun.
I'm over the TikTok. Buddy's like, oh, dude, you're going to get so hooked. I'm like, that's not who I am. I enjoy things, and I'll get in for a little spin, then I'll back away for a while, then I'll come back for another spin. And I pop in and see what the tart clowns are all up to on the TikToks there.
Clownery.
They're clowning.
Absolute tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery, shenanigans.
But Kay, I'm glad you came on. It's really great to actually meet you and chat with you. It was awesome.
It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for sharing with us.
Welcome.
It was my pleasure, really. I'm already 3 beers in, so we're good.
I only have Diet Cokes.
There's no alcohol in Diet Cokes. What's wrong with you?
I have
Zero alcohol content.
Could be.
I have vodka.
Get them little airplane bottles. Dump one.
Put vodka and Diet Coke together, that would be disgusting, right?
Actually, it's not bad. I've had it.
It's not as bad as you would think.
What if it's pineapple vodka, though?
Ooh.
Actually, probably still not that bad.
Well, I will try it out.
Some people will tell you not to put it on your pizza, though.
I love pineapple on my pizza, and I will try on this hill.
I will.
Good. Good.
I will too. You can thank the Canadians for inventing. Yeah, fair enough. You can thank the Canadians for inventing Hawaiian pizzas, by the way.
I thought that was an alley-oop off the backboard. I was like, I'll get it ready. And then you didn't say it.
Some outcast said Kate is fun. I am. Thank you.
Kate is fun. And I know that firsthand now. Experience is always the best teacher. All right, guys. Before we head out of here, just a couple of things I want to say. Thank you to all my wonderful patrons. You guys are what keeps the show going and making it improve and better and helping me pay for this guy. Here.
I'm a pricey bitch.
He is. Actually, your next payment is incoming, actually, at some point. So, yeah. And don't forget that Randolph and I are coming sometime soon. I'm going to say late spring, maybe early summer. We got to get the studio finished. We're building it for the True North Talk, which is going to be a lot like those other call-in shows you guys are familiar with. So look forward to that and head over to the channel and give us a sub. You can find it. Just type in True North Talk and the YouTube will put you on that page right away. And don't forget that myself and Mr. Mikey here, who's going to be with us soon, and Mr. Outcast X, who's in the chat with us. And I'm not sure if Jenna Miu is still out there, but all of us are now co-hosts on the new revamped and relaunched Nonprofits, one of the ACA products, guys. So definitely head over to the Nonprofits and give them a sub too. It's a lot of fun doing that show, except the last one where Outcast X kind of hogged everyone.
He was not passing that ball. He was like James Harden out there.
It's like, fuck, somebody pulls batteries out, will you? This is like somebody pulled the Chatty Cathy doll string and he just went.
My man X was pissed. He was not having it.
No, it was actually, he was a lot of fun. He was great on the show, and we had a good time. Had some good laughs. And yes, and the last Saturday of every month, which should be coming up this weekend.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This fella right here will be joining us for this episode.
You can't get rid of me.
That's right. It's the Atheists Drinking Out Loud, which usually happens on the Laughing in Disbelief channel, owned by Mr. Andy Below and Seamus, who you probably know from the Free Thought Prophet. If nobody jumps in, I will run that shit. So head over to Laughing in Disbelief, give them a sub, and hit the notification bell, and you'll find out was usually 2 p.m. Pacific time, anyways, which is what is that, 5 Eastern when Andy.
Yeah,
see Andy, and I'm like, fuck, you guys are making me drink before my other show on Saturday. Fuck. So,
oh no, Neil. Oh no.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever shall we do?
I'll handle it. It's okay.
Who is
not an alcoholic? They go to fucking meetings. So,
who's on Saturday? Maybe they'll just be like equally as sauced as us, and no one will notice.
Dude, you're on Saturday.
No. I'm on your show.
Oh, who's coming up on Saturday? Who's coming up on Saturday?
Because I mean, if they're like super chill, or if they're chatty Cathy's, like, I don't know.
I got Kurt Weinstein on Saturday.
He sounds chatty.
He already sounds chatty. But on Thursday, I have Captain Deadpool or Dadpool. Sorry.
Ooh.
Yes.
I love his films. 1 and 2.
Right. Anyways,
one
guys,
better.
They're great films.
There they are. Deadpool's awesome. But this is Dadpool.
Dadpool. He's awesome too.
That's how they pronounce it.
Awesome, but in a different way.
That's how they pronounce Deadpool in Canada. They say Dadpool.
Canadian.
Dadpool, yes. Sorry. All right, so we're going to head over to that after party. There's a link for the after party, I think, in the description box below, and you can also find Kay's TikTok link down there below. So we'll head on over there, and we'll be with you guys shortly. You know, I like to take a little bit of a break before we do this. So, are we doing a wave now, or is that?
I'm just feeling loosey goosey right now.
Loosey goosey.
Oh, there we go. Oh, wait, can we pass it? Oh
wait, different wave. Sorry.
Neil just stands up, pulls his shirt up. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that without money. So.
So check out my OnlyFans. No, just
but no, I'm just kidding.
JK never hurts. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you guys had a good time. And once again, Kay, thank you so much for joining.
Of course. Thank you.
No thing called Canada. There is now. Okay, we'll make it official. And you didn't capitalize it either, Dave.
I did.
All right, guys. All right, guys. So thanks again for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys at the after party. And like I always say at the end of these things, and I haven't been saying it lately, but I should say it again. With all the COVID thing, even though we got vaccines out there now, and we'll beat this shit. Don't worry, guys. But remember to be well and be safe. All right. And above all, be kind. Right. So until then, guys, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.